You have probably noticed that I have changed my ruler because I needed a longer ruler because the distance of the new point I had to draw to find out the rhythm in my carpet. So I can draw inside of these guides, let's say, of these lines, of these stripes that I was able to obtain on this carpet surface, many different drawing. Now, I don't want to make exactly the drawing I have on this carpet. I like to use sometimes fantasy. So you see that all the rhythmic lines I decided to draw at the very beginning, connecting our vanishing point with the base of my drawing, are helping now me a lot also to draw other elements inside the carpet, because the carpet is more full of elements, full of drawings, full of things to draw, to depict. I can use very well all these lines, and I can divide to help me again with an horizontal line, this stripe, and another horizontal line, this stripe. So I can find all these elements also here. Now you are pretty sure that you were able to describe the reality in front of you, that is a 3D reality on a two-dimensional flat plan. I can go to draw other lines that are very important in the construction of my structure. The point where the wall in front of me is meeting the floor. I have to watch where this line is exactly, considering the sofa, considering the armchair, considering other things. Now I'm going to draw also this line. And a little bit upper, I draw another line. Please consider that normally I don't use such a strong line to create my structure. But in this case, I want to show you better everything, all the perspective structure. So that's why I use such an heavy pencil to do it. But normally all these lines are much lighter. So now I sign the base of the window. And I begin to draw also the line corresponding to the shapes of the window. And then in front of me, I have more or less the other window. And then I have a second window. So we have the shapes of our two windows more or less here. And I can draw now the windows. All this part, when I have to draw flat things in front of me on a wall, has not to do directly with perspective. They have to be just flat in one vanishing point perspective. With free hand, I draw the arc upon a window. So I can begin also to draw other elements around here. I will draw these little tables near our armchair under the window. And I will show you how to put in perspective, in this one vanishing point perspective, circle things. Like, for example, this table. All the grid we created at the very beginning is helping us again very much, because we have already all the perspective lines here, and we have just to create, for example, I already made like an oval to describe this table, but I can just begin from a parallel line, an horizontal line, another horizontal line for the lower table. And for the other table that is also maybe a little bit bigger, I can make another line here and another line here. And inside these guides, I can draw an oval, the first and the second. And then I draw the legs. I am always following this grid. So now we have our two little tables. We have the base to draw them better, but they are already in the right perspective. And now I can go on with these little vases, for example, on the floor. And with these plants, all these things are more or less easier than all the other things we have already made until now. I can create following my usual grid this little square, and then I can draw the oval inside, and I follow the same lines. As you can see, by drawing this little vase, is always very important to add some pattern or some lines, like in this case, to enhance the volume of the item. So in this case, you can see that this vase is really something that is in the reality, in the 3D reality. It has a depth, it has a volume. So now I begin to draw the lemon tree. In the same way, I follow the perspective line and I draw this oval. And I begin to draw also the lemon tree. So, okay, this is very easy because it's just something that you can do without following the perspective rules in a particular way. And then we have still another vase in front of the second window. So we can also draw this in the same way, always following our lines. Now I feel the need to sign the line between the different walls. The wall on the left, the wall on the right, and the wall in front of me. We have already this vertical line on the left to describe the meeting point between the right wall and the front wall. And then I have to draw the line on the left side. So I draw this line that is parallel to my horizon and is the line where the front wall is meeting the ceiling. I connect this point together with my vanishing point, and I find out the ceiling in perspective. So this is my ceiling. That is another very important element to enhance this depth sense. So now I have my ceiling, that is this. I have my floor, that is here. Always use the vanishing point, you see, is here. This is the shape on my floor. We have our 3 walls. Now I would like to mark better these lines. The ceiling, and then I can add other elements. Of course, at this point of our work, you should take a break, have a coffee, go out for a walk or something, because it's not so wise to stay always on your drawing. You have to take a pause because you have then to come back and then watch your work again with new eyes, and you will discover a lot of wrong things, mistakes,